All right. Let's try that again. Okay. Yeah, I guess while it's still kind of fresh in my mind, what am I going to do for the next piece? The next piece I was planning, I mean, there's a couple. There's a couple I have in mind. And still shooting for a specific mark. And it's tough to land them when competition is so fierce. It's not competition, but like, it's just comparative skills. You know, when there are so many people that are just way better than you. You know, it's hard to hit the mark when the quality is just out of reach for me. At least right now. But like I said, got some good advice. Specifically, I was going for like a bit more of like a foreshortened. I mean, there wasn't really anything specific in mind. I just wanted to try a couple things. So like for thumbnailing and prep work, I didn't really have, you know, anything to go off of. I was just kind of like, I want to do this. So let's just kind of draw it like this. And like I said, I sketched it and I'm like, I was kind of happy with the sketch. So I started working on it. I ended up like cleaning it up 3 times. And even at the end of it, still technically wasn't right. It did look better. But I think if I had kept maybe like a fundamental thing that I, you know, wasn't really aware of. I mean, I was aware of it, but I didn't think it really mattered, or at least I thought I was doing it right. Which I think I was to some extent, but if I had kept it maybe a little bit more consistent, it would have been better. Also screwed up the composition in like the final crop. Because I was thinking of how it looked in one way. Nice. When I should have been thinking about it in a different way. Like I was thinking more like width wise. And I think maybe if I was better with like backgrounds and something. But even then it's like the way I was like going around like thinking about it. Or going around? What? It was still wrong. So I think if I just maybe shifted my perspective on it a little bit, it could have looked at, you know, could have had a bit more appeal in the composition. Also, backgrounds is just something that I have no ability in. You know what? I think this is faster to go from here. I think it's faster. So let's stop doing that. Just go over here. Because I don't think I'm bad at perspective. I just think I don't think about it a lot. It's like I'm doing character art, so, you know, Just make sure the anatomy's good and this and that. But, you know, I think at this point, I kind of have to put one and one together. And it's not that much different, but I think it will help. Because I think with all the extra figure drawing I'm doing, all the extra studies, you know, the next time I go for something like that, it being like in perspective and having something pretty consistent, it's just gonna look better. And there's something else about it. It's gonna look better and probably just be more interesting. I did get the you should study anatomy, which I am doing, and I know it's not great. I've already commented that the book I'm using, Constructive Anatomy, is not really helping me. I think there's useful notes in it, but I think in terms of like using it to learn, I think it's not out there. It's not in there. It's not in the book. Or it is in there, but it's not in there to be like, this is your study reference. Like, I think that's going to be more in the next book that I'm probably going to go through. I was thinking I really wanted to go through Michael Hampton's figure drawing again. Gonna be dead. I rolled into the lava. I don't know why I didn't think like it was gonna hurt me. I'm like, oh, it's fine. Or it'll disappear. It wasn't fine and it didn't disappear, so shoutouts to that one. Yeah, it was too late. It was too late in the piece that I had kind of noticed it was wrong. Like, I did some like all layers liquefy to make it look a little better, but there were just some spots where I didn't even factor it in and it just showed. For me, it didn't really show. But I'm glad I had some other eyes look at it and be like, yeah, you screwed up. And I am going to keep trying the same coloring method. I might try something a little different. Not like a little different, but like... where, you know... this method like has you doing this there and this there and adding this and doing that. I might try something else. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this all here and then do this on top of that. See if I can get a result that I'm kind of happy with. So that's good. And stylizing, I'm not going to be too concerned with stylizing. Even though I would like to do some studies, I think going over, you know, the fundamentals is more important right now. I'll take it. That one's really delayed. It sucks. I'm just taking it. Also, I was stuck, so like, what else could I do? Yeah, just a lot more grinding. A lot more grinding. And hopefully next month will look better. I kind of, you know, needed to de-rust in terms of the workflow. And maybe it won't take me like 3 days to color. I mean, it didn't take me 3 days to color. I'm gonna be honest, it did not. It was more so just working on it, noticing how bad something looked, and then like having to basically fix it and then restart. Do anything big. I think that's gonna come back. Now there's a boss in there. Now there's a shortcut here. I think the first time I did that, I didn't realize it made this bridge. Yeah, we've got some new tools that we can use. I mean, I was already using them, I just didn't know how to use them correctly. And I think that's really as much as I can hope for right now. I don't really know that many artists of like, you know, who do well on social media and or I guess professionally. I do know a couple. But I guess in terms of like the style, I don't really know that many. It's not like anime style. I mean just like in like what kind of posts like do well, which I don't know. That's weird? That sounds weird to say because I think if the art is just good, it doesn't really matter. But maybe there is a style to it. Maybe I'm thinking like this look. I guess maybe, I don't know, people who are really active. I don't know, because it's weird to point out who I'm kind of looking to have critique, because I think like obviously anyone at a professional level can, and like numbers doesn't really mean anything. I think that just means people who are more active, because there's tons of professionals who they just don't care. They just don't post on social media, or they don't have time to, or they're in a weird contract where like, hey, not only are you in an NDA with our stuff, but also if you make and post anything while you're working for us, we also own that. So some of them just like never post. Also, I hate this guy. I was hoping oh, did it actually hit him? Maybe the sword just hit. Gonna be dead again. What? Yeah, I'm gonna shield him. I knew that was a big blast coming. It's just the worst ever. It's only halfway. I can't dodge. Guys, I can't dodge. How many pages do I have left in this book? I'm getting pretty close to the end. I've got... Oh. Yeah, still quite a lot. Like 15 pages. That's what I needed. I thought that was a command grab. I have no idea why. I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy's moves like every single movie he's had multiple times. At least 4 times I've had to fight this guy or more. I think I would remember a command grab. You know, it could have been one of those moments where it's like, man, I fought this guy like a dozen times and I've never seen that move. Okay. Okay. Close. I think that's the best I've ever done to avoid that move. Don't hit me. He's cheating. I just needed a better weapon. Apparently, I've never beaten that guy. I just got the achievement for beating him. Oh, on PC. That makes sense. I definitely have fought this guy multiple times, but on PC, I think I missed it because I remember I just teleported right to the bottom. And I never went to this area. I didn't know about the secret wall. I didn't know about the, what the heck is it called? The water wheel? But yeah, there was just no way I would know about this area. Or that you could get here. So I know that's a quest item. I don't know if we missed the timing. It is possible. Dude, I was watching some Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's ended up back on my feed. I think maybe there's a new set coming out. I don't like timings in card games. I think it's annoying. I think like the wordplay in card games is fun, but I think like, oh, well, you activated this too late, so technically it has no effect now. You know, kind of like how Yu-Gi-Oh has like, you know, destroy this card or negate this effect or, you know, stuff like that. Where it's like, oh, I activate this and it destroys that card. It's like, okay. The effect already goes off. It's like, what the heck? So I get it. Obviously, you know, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! So I obviously understand. But I think, like, at some point that just becomes annoying. And I think for new players, and even returning players, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't used to be like this. It did a little bit. But it wasn't very common. And actually, because I didn't talk about this, but obviously, you know, there was a bit of a shakeup, and by a bit, I mean a lot, at Riot Games. And I won't go over, you know, all the layoffs, but something that was in their, like, focus going forward. They didn't mention their card game. That kind of sucks, because I actually really like that. Legends of Runeterra. But nobody talks about it. I don't even talk about it. I've talked about it maybe a couple times. But it was actually good. And, like, I think having, like, a digital card game that kind of does the logic the way the game wants it to have happen, I think that's better. What the heck? That was weird. You know, it does a better job at it than, like, in real life. Because if you watch, like, real, like, I'm saying real Yu-Gi-Oh, but, like, it's just Yu-Gi-Oh. But, like, in real life, you have to be like, okay, draw phase, main phase. You have to, like, call out, like, what phase you're on of your turn, so that the person can react at the right time. Or even, like, you might not even be calling it out, you know, as a part of your strategy so that they miss their timing. But they might call it, okay, on draw phase, on main phase 1, end of battle. And, you know, obviously it's fair. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, well, you're wrong for doing that. I think that's just, like, it's not really fun to just, like, have to constantly, like, interject. And Master Duel's kind of like this too. But in Master Duel, it's weird. Because obviously you have to, you know, time your cards. Buy another one of these. Why? I definitely can't run it. It will catch me in the lava. But, like, in Master Duel, like, when you're keeping track of, like, the phases and, like, the game is, like, giving you the chance to retaliate, it kind of just tells the, like, opponent what you have. Or, like, you do have a response, but maybe you're waiting for a specific card. So, you know, they might know that they have to play around it, or, you know, they'll play into it, knowing that you'll spend it. And I think that could easily be fixed by, like, always having a problem. Like, no matter what, even if you don't have a response, the game should say, like, hey, you don't have a response. Please press OK. Or, like, give you, like, 5 seconds, or it'll just disappear if you don't press OK. Like, in case you forget. I think that would help. And I'm admitting that I haven't played Master Duel in quite a while. Because I played up until the cards that I wanted to play with were out. And I knew very soon after that they were going to catch up with like current Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm like, I really don't want to play with the current stuff because it's kind of like all really too good. And as someone I have put some money into Master Duel, but like not that much. I definitely didn't put in enough to just like be able to get everything. And it was getting to that point where if you just didn't have these cards, like you were probably just dust. And there was maybe like, probably not just like, this is the best. I mean, I think it was like, this is the best. But like, even to have stuff that is like playable, I don't think I had the currency. And obviously I stopped playing, so it's not like I had like my dailies and monthlies and challenges all up to date. I saw a door there. Oh, whatever. I'll come back. It loops around. But Legends of Runeterra was actually so fun. And it did kind of play like Yu-Gi-Oh! But like Hearthstone has, I forget what they're called. They're called like secrets. It's like they're trap cards. Like you play it and it puts like a little question mark on your icon. So like they know it's in play. But Runeterra basically played closer to if like everything was a hand trap. Like they could play something and then like you could chain, a reaction. Like, hey, they're playing this. What is your response? Like, let's say they use an ability to, I destroy one of your creatures or monster or whatever. You could play something where it's like, okay, well, I actually activate, invincibility. So now, like, my guy's invincible. Your spell will go off, and it'll do nothing. And then I think they could play something in response to that. Like, hey, I'm playing, negate spell. So now now your move just does nothing. Which is very much like Yu-Gi-Oh! But it was just all done through the hand. Nice. Nice. No, I didn't want to go there. No, I just wanted to fall between the cracks. And it was fun. It was really fun. You could like combine the archetypes, kind of like Magic. I think you could only have 2 types, but I think Magic is like that too. I think you can't do like, I don't know why I'm blanking. Like red, white, and blue. Why those colors? Why not? Or maybe you can, but I don't know if it's like competitively viable. Because like you're just gonna have like thin resources. Yeah, obviously, you know, Riot is... I've seen people talk about it. I mean, I'm not a professional in the industry, so I can't really speculate, so I'm not going to say much on it. It does suck. And, like, I think I think it's just like a kind of, not a trend, but so many places are just downsizing. You know, and I do sympathize. But I do think we kind of live in an era where, you know, skilled individuals are in demand. And I think maybe it's just a sign of the time. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And like, you'll very rarely hear me talk about Riot Games because I will probably never play League of Legends for the rest of my life. I played so much League. And just had so much anti-fun. I just know what's gonna happen if I ever play it again. But you know what was actually very fun to watch? And I wasn't expecting this to be something that I would enjoy. It was the Hololive Fauna Dota 2 stream. I'm like, oh, Dota 2? But like, obviously when you have 5 like friends playing, you know, the experience is different than solo grinding. And Dota's kind of like, I know it was the original, but it's so like, it just has like this weird jank to it that kind of just like makes it fun. Like, League is so streamlined to the point where if people know how to play the game and they know you're not playing it well, or the way you're supposed to, you're just... I mean, it's like that in Dota too, but like... I swear, like, nobody knows how to play Dota. Is the king snake? I feel like I've never gone here. I did try Wild Rift, the League of Legends, but faster and mobile. It is faster, but like... No, I've definitely been here. Oh no. That was a weird jump. That was actually like a Mega Man jump. Isn't there like a big guy down here? Or one of these guys, maybe a couple of them. Hey, we're only going to be doing a little bit more Elden Ring today. And then I'm fairly certain I'm going to swap over to Gravity Rush. Oh, that's something else I wanted to talk about. I completely forgot. The state of play. I mean, it didn't show that much. It showed Dragon's Dogma 2, which does look good. But I mean, for me, it's not in the cards. It's too much, and I didn't like the first one. Even though this one does look very fun. But something that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting this, and I wasn't expecting my reaction to kind of be this way. Was Death Stranding 2. Like, we actually got a real trailer for it. And I just talked about Death Stranding. Not in great detail, but I just said it was a game that I really liked and I really enjoyed, but I would never recommend it to someone. Because it's not the gamiest game. Oh. And I'm like, I don't think it needs like a sequel. It kind of felt like a one and done story. And, you know, I don't think we need it anymore. What they showed was so good. I'm actually excited for Death Stranding 2. It's a classic gamer moment. Man, this game looks horrible. I don't support it in any way, shape, or form. Sees one trailer. This is going to be the best game ever made. But like, man, it actually like brought up so many points, and I'm like, I kind of want to see how this goes. Kojima, you've done it again. But that's a next year game, so maybe I'll play through Death Stranding. I don't think it'll be the most interesting thing to watch because it's 90% walking. I mean, it's not even 90% walking. It's like 30% movie. So that only gives us 60% left of the game. And like 55% walking. And like there's a little bit of action, but like you could probably count on one hand how many times it's required. And I don't see the sequel doing anything different, really. It doesn't have to do anything different. Well... really get to where I want it to go. I mean, I kind of did. Oh, these guys. Again. They showed some game that they've already shown before, Rise of Ronin or something. And it just looks like Sekiro Breath of the Wild. Like, I'm not really... Like, I don't think it'll be bad, because obviously they're showing it at State of Play. But I think it'll just be like, yeah, it's a good game. I don't think it'll do anything crazy or special. They're going to show Final Fantasy later. I wasn't really expecting to see Final Fantasy. But it's nice to know that we're going to get another chunk. Can you get through this? I'm just going to teleport. Just going to teleportal. Oh, it could be completely on the other side. It could be from, like, up here. Which I can't get to. I don't think there's any way to get there except through the water wheel. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, man. I was not expecting it to get weird. I'm like, we already know, like, the Death Stranding world. It's not... How could it get weirder? Kojima is cooking. Oh, they showed a Silent Hill, but like... Oh, and Silent Hill 2 remake, which... I don't really care about. Wasn't really worth it again. Oh. Yeah, still looking like a really light year, which is good for me. All the good stuff is coming out next year. Or at least the stuff that they're hyping up right now. And I hope we get news on the Nintendo Direct soon. I'm pretty sure there's one in February. I think it always happens in February. Oh, this take us right to the bottom? What? I don't know if I should do this. This might change. change some of the quest lines. Okay, I see. I see how to get there. Would have been nice to have a bonfire, but I didn't really explore that chunk. I'll have to keep an eye on the director's cut of Death Stranding. I never played it. I only played the original release because I was supremely hyped for that game. And then when it got re-released, I didn't really care. It's not really going to be the same, I don't think. Because you really only get, like, the full experience while the game is still kind of fresh and being played by other people as well. I don't know how to get down there. Or I do know, but I can't remember. Because you like to get that little alert, like someone used your bridge, someone used your zip line, someone used your ladder. Like, that's a part of the fun. And right now, probably whatever's on the network or the server or whatever. Also, there was like that building the bridge, not the bridge, like the road that everyone could contribute to. That's probably done. So that part of the game kind of wouldn't have it. It's like, it's kind of just a money sink or whatever the currency is. I can't remember. I really don't remember how to get down there. I was down there before. How did I do it? It must have been through here. I must have just done one big trip. I'm annoyed I didn't go there and get the bonfire. Nice, 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 nice. No, this would have been easier. I think, maybe. This is one of the things I had to find, so I'm glad. Oh, get invaded. Oh, I guess that's the end of the quest line. Now, I've heard that that tier for the physic, that one's really good against Moog. It makes you like invincible to his big, like midway point. You just have to heal through this attack. Is it Moog? Yes. Is it Mog? Whatever. I don't think it matters. That was one of the things I wanted to look up before we like went ahead the rest of the game. Wait, what? I'm so confused. I don't remember going to anywhere here. How did I get over there once? Whatever. I think we'll call Elden Ring there, and I'll have to either do this off stream, which is very unlikely. Yeah, I'll probably just end up looking it up. Or, yeah, I'll probably just do that. I'm pretty sure it's probably from over here. But it's kind of annoying that it isn't from here. Yeah, so I did fight these guys. Okay, a little familiar. Maybe I didn't go down there. Maybe I just thought about it. I swear I was down there. Maybe I'm just crazy.